The Dallas Mavericks have lost to the Houston Rockets 110-99, and it's happening again. The Dallas Mavericks are currently on a 3-game losing streak. We won't have Luka Doncic back till early February. We won't have Dante Exum back till late January. We're about to see the first seed Cleveland Cavaliers in a few days. And on top of all of that, PJ Washington is injured. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the box score, what went wrong in this game, as well as what does this mean for the Dallas Mavericks moving forward. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And we're going to get right into the video, man. Y'all know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But in tonight's game was just flat out horrible. Yes, we had D-Live back. Yes, Kyrie and Clay were also back. So we had everybody except for Luka, Dante, Najee. And so the team had a pretty good shot. Maybe not the best odds, but from the opening jump, things looked good for the Dallas Mavericks. At least on our end offensively, we were hitting shots, playing good, somewhat good defense, and I say somewhat because the first half, the refs gave it away. For the entire game, you can't blame the refs, but for the first half, you can definitely blame the refs. After the first quarter, the Rockets had about 13 free throws, and we had only about 3. The Dallas Mavericks, in spite of all that in the first quarter, we outscored the Rockets in the first quarter. The second quarter, unfortunately, our offense started to fall apart, our defense looked horrible, and there were a lot of things wrong in that first half. Like I said, the refs, completely horrible in the first half. Second half, it was whatever, but the first half, the refs were just crazy. But on top of that, we had players just not playing well. Kyrie Irving did not have a good game. Yes, he's coming back from missing a game. He's got elbow, shoulder soreness, something wrong with his arms. But overall, I didn't see a lot of high energy from Kyrie. Obviously, with Luka gone, Kyrie kind of has to be that guy, that go-to guy. But I didn't see any of that. It was kind of just lackadaisical. Not saying he didn't care. Something may be up with Kyrie, but it was not a good game from Kyrie. From Daniel Gafford and Maxi Kleber, both were probably the worst players on the floor for us. Alfred Sengun, who is a good center, was getting every shot he wanted on Gafford. There was at least 8 points back to back that he was hitting on Daniel Gafford. And Jason Kidd was just watching, didn't try to switch it up, didn't try to make a sub. And then when he did, we put Maxi in. Maxi kept fouling. And on top of that, the turnovers were just egregious. The team finished with 20 turnovers. And the Houston Rockets had 17 steals on the game. It was just a bad game from start to finish. The first half, the refs kind of got to us. But in the second half, that was all Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks. We made no adjustments in the third quarter. The fourth quarter, we were down by 10 plus, trying to make some fake comeback like we always do, and nothing happened. In the third quarter, while we were down by as much as 14 points, Jason Kidd did not use a timeout. It was halfway through the third quarter. We still had 5 timeouts. Why have you not used a timeout? Earlier in the game, the Houston Rockets were on a 23-4 run. 20 plus points, and you don't call a timeout? I'm not in favor of just blaming everything on the refs. I'm not even in favor of blaming everything on the coach. But tonight, when you have the majority of your players back, Jason Kidd, this should not have been this bad of a game. Why aren't you calling more timeouts? Why aren't you trying to challenge certain calls? Why aren't you trying to be involved as a coach? I could really tell that Jason Kidd was just watching the game, letting the guys figure it out. I didn't see anybody figure it out. The only player who I saw who really came to play was Quentin Grimes off the bench, and he didn't really seem to get any help. Like I said, Daniel Gafford and Maxi Kleber were complete cones on defense. Couldn't stop a cold. It was bad for the majority of the game. But let's not talk about it. Let's just look at the box score, shall we? For tonight, PJ Washington had 6 points, 1 block, 1 assist, 3 rebounds, 0 of 1 from 3, 3 of 8 from the floor. Like I said, PJ's out with the injury. He has a knee sprain. We don't know the timetable. I'm going to say 2 weeks at the worst. I'm hoping it's less than that. But PJ's out, and the weird injury happened right after the second quarter, right before the half. I didn't see it. I had to watch a replay. But PJ's out, and we all know what happens when we don't have PJ. Derrick Lively had 8 points, 4 blocks, 1 steal, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and was 4 of 5 from the floor in his first game back, and he's on a minutes restrictions, only playing 20 minutes. But those 20 minutes, he was better than every other big man on this team, including PJ. And I understand PJ he left because of injury, but Derrick Lively was literally better than Gafford and Maxey combined. And Dwight Powell, if you want to throw him in there too, even though he didn't play a lot of minutes. And Kyrie Irving, not a great game from Kyrie. He had 16 points, 4 turnovers. 2 blocks, 3 steals, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, was 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 0 of 2 from 3, and 7 of 13 from the floor. Not the performance we need from somebody who we're looking to be our number one when our actual number one is out. You can give him a pass because he came back from an injury or whatever, but we got to call it like we see it. It was not a good game from Kyrie Irving. Spencer Dinwiddie also, not really a great game, had 8 points, 3 turnovers, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Klay Thompson looked pretty good just to start the game. Kind of had to find himself in the second half, but he had 16 points, 5 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 assist, 5 rebounds, 4 of 8 from 3, and 6 of 11 from the field. And off the bench, Maxey had 5 points, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 1 steal, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. Maxey was horrible. I know a few games ago he had 15 points. I was happy for it. I was hoping that meant Maxey was turning a corner. Things were looking up for him. And 2 games that followed, he had 0 points. Tonight, yeah, cool, he had 5 points. You were horrible. Maxey was absolutely horrible. Was fouling. Was just allowing people to score. I don't know what type of defense that people say Maxey had, because I did not see it tonight. And he played 30 minutes. And that was 30 minutes too many, but we kind of had to, right? Or did we? Because Omax only played 7 minutes. Why don't we put in Omax? Why didn't Omax get more time? Not saying Omax would have saved the game, but probably could have stopped the bleeding. He only got 7 minutes, but he had 6 points, 1 steal, and 3 rebounds. Dwight Powell in 7 minutes had 2 points, 2 rebounds. Daniel Gafford, only 12 minutes. Feels like he played a lot more than 12 minutes. But in 12 minutes, he had 4 points, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 1 steal, 4 rebounds, but was a minus 27. In 12 minutes, Daniel Gafford was a minus 27. And I just want to say, I've been one of the biggest proponents of not trading Daniel Gafford. I defend him. I say he's just a backup big. He's, trying to feel it out. Whatever may have you. After tonight's game, Daniel Gafford has got to get it together. The last 2 games have been horrible from him. Tonight was absolutely trash. Daniel Gafford's got to figure it out, and maybe he plays better when Luka's back. I don't know what excuse to really find for Daniel Gafford, but that little trade package that everyone throws around where you want to trade Gafford away for Herb Jones looks pretty good right now. But obviously, we can't be victims of the moment. We just hope that the guys turn things around. But tonight's game was absolutely horrible for Daniel Gafford, same as Maxey. Quentin Grimes, the only player to look like he actually came to play, had 17 points, 1 block, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. He was 2 of 7 from 3. He hit 2 quick threes, and he tried to, heat check it. It didn't work, but he was 6 of 13 from the field. Please give Quentin Grimes some help. And then you had Brandon Williams and Jason Gorman from garbage time. And then Jaden Hardy in 21 minutes had 11 points, 3 turnovers, 1 steal, 3 assists. And like I said, as a team, we had 20 turnovers. 12 blocks, that's cute, but that really didn't mean anything when we had 20 turnovers. And we were only 8 of 16 from the free throw line. Now, I understand that the Houston Rockets, they were getting to the free throw line whenever they wanted to. We missed half of our free throws. You give me 8 more points, this is a much closer game. The Dallas Mavericks have got to figure out. Jason Kidd has got to figure it out. Having five timeouts available when you're still in the third quarter and you're down by as much as 15 plus points, why aren't you calling a timeout? The Houston Rockets went on a 23-4 run. Why didn't you call a timeout? Why didn't you try to stop the bleeding? The whole letting players try to figure it out on the court, yes, that's cool if it's close. But when they're running away with it, call a timeout, Jason Kidd. Do something. Something has to happen. Nico Harrison, I know that he's probably talking to a lot of teams trying to figure out what trades need to happen. But after tonight's game, knowing that January is going to be very difficult for this team, I think something needs to happen sooner rather than later. And I guess that we got to go to our next segment of Who Stood on Business. And I just got to say it's Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes had 17 points, 1 block, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 of 7 from 3, 6 of 13 from the floor. Quentin Grimes was the only player who really showed up tonight. He stood on business. But although he did, it didn't matter. We lost by 11 points. The Dallas Mavericks are better than that. And we play the Cleveland Cavaliers in a few days. Don't know if we're going to be even better in that game. But a few other things that I definitely want to show you guys is this right here. That, of course, P.J. Washington Jr. with a right knee sprain will not return to tonight's game against Houston Rockets. We don't have a timetable for it. Who knows when he'll come back. I think it'll be 2 weeks at the most. I hope it's less than that. But we don't know. We currently don't know. We know what happens when we don't play with P.J. We don't win games. So January is going to be very, very rough. And the last thing I want to show you guys is this right here. There are circumstances, but the Mavericks have been held to under 100 points in 4 of their last 8 games. Luka Doncic has missed all of them. Kyrie has played in 2 of them. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving being out is a big problem for this team. It's hard for us to win games, as for many teams. It's hard for any team to win games when their best players aren't available. And for anybody that says that we're better without Luka Doncic, I'm not seeing it. I've never said it. I've always said we play different without Luka, but we need Luka. He's our best player. You cannot expect to win many games, especially with the schedule that we have, without your best player. It's just not possible. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think we're cooked? Do you think that January's going to be horrible and awful for us? Do you think that we're going to fall out of the playoff spots? Let me know your thoughts, man. Let's have a conversation about it in the comment section. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing giveaway every single month on this channel. The only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. But, till next time, y'all take care, drink water. Peace.